Ever feel like your emotions are too much? Like one wave of anger, sadness, or panic can hijack your entire day. You're not broken, you're just human. Here's something you probably didn't know: every emotion biologically only lasts 90 seconds. That's it. A minute and a half of chemicals moving through your body. Unless you keep feeding it with your thoughts. Replay the conversation. Overthink what you said. Tell yourself a story that adds fuel to the fire. Then yeah, now it lasts all day. But it didn't have to. Next time it hits pause, notice it. Don't label it good or bad, just feel it. Maybe it's a tight chest, sweaty palms, that lump in your throat. Let it pass like a wave. Count to 90, breathe. Let go of the need to fix it. Because emotions, like weather, aren't permanent. They storm in, they roll out. And no, you are not your emotions. You are the space they move through. The quiet in the chaos, the stillness in the swirl. We spend so much of our lives reacting, snapping at people, shutting down, over-apologizing, then wondering later, why did I do that? But imagine what changes if we just waited 90 seconds. That moment of pause might save a relationship, might keep you from saying something you regret, might help you see this feeling isn't forever. You're not stuck. You're in motion. So next time the storm hits, remember, you don't have to ride every wave. You can watch it rise, let it crash, then breathe, and choose your next move from a place of calm, not chaos. Chapter 1. Cognitive Reframing. You just heard that emotions come and go, that you are not your emotions. But here's the next layer: what you believe about what happens. That's what sticks around. Let's talk about disappointment. It's sneaky, quiet. It shows up not when life goes wrong, but when life doesn't go the way you thought it would. You didn't get the job. They didn't text back. Your plan fell apart again. And suddenly it's not just about what happened. It's about the story your brain starts to build around it. I'm not good enough. This always happens to me. I should have known better. That's not truth. That's framing. See, your brain is like a little film director. It can take the same raw footage and turn it into a tragedy or a redemption story. Cognitive reframing isn't about lying to yourself. It's about seeing the same moment from a different lens. One that gives you power, not paralysis. Didn't get the job. Maybe that frees you to apply for the one you really want. They didn't text back. Maybe that tells you they're not for you. And that's information, not rejection. You're not rewriting reality. You're just adjusting the camera angle. Because here's the truth. Pain is real. But suffering is often the story we choose to tell ourselves about the pain. And when you learn to shift that story from "I failed" to "I'm learning," from "it's over" to "maybe this is a beginning," from "I'm broken" to "I'm becoming," then life becomes less about control and more about meaning. So next time life doesn't go your way, pause, zoom out, breathe, reframe. Because the frame you choose, it shapes the life you live. Chapter 2. The Emotional First Aid Kit. You don't wait until your car breaks down to learn how to change a tire. So why do we wait for emotional collapse before we learn how to cope? Let's be honest. Most of us were never taught what to do when anxiety hits, when sadness won't let go, when overwhelm tightens its grip and won't let up. We're told to stay strong, to just breathe, to not overthink. But what if you had actual tools ready to go? What if emotional resilience wasn't just a mindset, but a kit, an emotional first aid kit? Something simple, personal, built by you for you. Here's how it starts. First, know your signals. Does your chest tighten? Hands shake? Mind spiral? Next, build your kit, not with band-aids, but with anchors. Movement. Maybe 10 jumping jacks. A brisk walk. Anything to shake the loop. A scent, like lavender oil or your favorite tea. A phrase. This moment will pass. I've survived worse. A name. One person you can text who won't judge, just listen. And here's the key, you build it before the breakdown. You rehearse it when you're calm, so it's there when you're not. Because when the emotional storm hits, you don't need motivation. You need muscle memory. This isn't overplanning, it's wisdom. Think about it. If your mind is the house, then your first aid kit is the fire extinguisher. You hope you never need it, but when the smoke comes, you'll be glad you reached for something that works. So build your kit, one small tool at a time. Your future self will thank you. Chapter 3. Breaking Rumination. You ever lay in bed, eyes wide open? Replay that one awkward conversation over and over and over. That's not reflection, that's rumination. And it's exhausting. It feels like you're thinking things through. But really, you're just circling. Same thoughts, same fears, same shame reel. You try to stop. You say, I'm done thinking about this. But your brain, it says, great. Let's think about it harder. Here's the thing. Your brain isn't broken. It's just doing its job with no direction. So what do? You redirect. Gently. Intentionally. Not by forcing thoughts away, but by giving them somewhere better to go. Here's one method. Simple. Grounding. Real. 531. 5 things you can see. Right now. Any room. Any space. Name them out loud. Anchor yourself in the present. 3 minutes of brain work. Count backwards from 100 by 7s, or do a quick puzzle. Anything that needs focus. One action. Drink water, write a sentence, send a message. Something small, but forward moving. You don't need to fix your life in one night. You just need to get out of the loop. Because rumination is like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. But stillness awareness. A simple shift in attention. That's the rope, that's the ladder out. So next time your brain says, let's overanalyze something from 5 years ago, smile, breathe, say, not today. Chapter 4. The Spotlight Effect. You walk into a room, you feel it, all eyes are on you. Or so you think. Your shirt feels weird. Your hair isn't cooperating. You stumble over a word, and suddenly you're convinced you've made a fool of yourself. But here's the truth most people didn't notice. And if they did, they forgot 10 seconds later, because they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves, their own hair, their own awkward stumble, their own I hope no one noticed moment. This is the spotlight effect. It tricks you into thinking you're on stage, when really you're just another face in the crowd. And that's not a bad thing. It's freedom. Because when you realize you're not being judged 24/7, you stop performing, you start living. Think about it. That time you messed up during a presentation, you're still cringing, but can you remember when someone else did the same? Exactly. We hold on to our own mistakes like they're tattooed on our foreheads. But to others, they're passing blips already forgotten. You're not under a spotlight, you're under the same sky as everyone else. Flawed, human. Trying. So breathe, relax. Say the thing, wear the outfit, show up fully. Because most people, they're too busy worrying about themselves to notice the tiny thing you're spiraling over. And once you accept that, you're free. Chapter 5, Third-Person Self-Talk. You're spiraling, your heart's racing, and your mind won't shut up. I can't do this, I'm not ready. I'm gonna mess it all up. But what if instead of saying, you said your name? Emily can figure this out. Jason's done harder things. You've got this, Maya. Feels different, right? That's not a self-help gimmick. It's neuroscience. Researchers found that when you speak to yourself in the third person, you create just enough distance to see things clearly, to calm the chaos, to think like a friend, not a critic. Because when your best friend is panicking, you don't say you're such a failure. You say you've been through worse. You'll get through this. But with ourselves, we're brutal, unforgiving, relentless. We say things in our heads we wouldn't dare say out loud. That voice, it needs boundaries. Third-person self-talk is how you set them. It's how you stop reacting and start responding. With logic, with kindness, with clarity, you stop being the scared version of you. You become the coach, the guide, the calm in the storm. So next time your brain's screaming pause, say your name. Speak like someone who actually believes in you. Because the way you talk to yourself becomes the way you live. And you deserve to live with more grace. Chapter 6, Mental Contrasting. You've probably heard it. Just visualize it, see it, believe it, achieve it. Sounds nice, feels good, but it's not enough. Because the truth is, when we imagine only the best outcome our brain thinks we're already there, it relaxes, loses urgency, and that's when we stall. Mental contrasting changes that. It starts with the same spark. Imagine your goal: clear, detailed, real. You want to run a marathon, start a business, have better boundaries. Picture it, feel it. Then name the obstacle, not vaguely, be specific. I'll feel too tired after work. I'll procrastinate because I'm scared. I'll fall back into people pleasing. Now, here's the shift: create a plan, a real one. If I feel too tired, I'll still walk for 10 minutes. If I delay, I'll set a 5-minute timer just to start. If I hesitate, I'll text a friend and speak it out loud. It's not pessimism, it's preparation. You're not tearing down the dream. You're building the road to it, bricks and all. Because blind positivity fades, but clarity that lasts. Mental contrasting is how you protect hope from collapsing under pressure. You're not just daydreaming anymore. You're designing, and that makes all the difference. Chapter 7, Antifragility. Most people think strength means never breaking, always calm, always in control, always fine. But that's not real strength. That's just a mask. Real strength is what happens after the crack, when you fall apart and rebuild. Wiser, tougher, clearer. That's called anti-fragility. It's not just about bouncing back. It's about getting stronger because of the stress. Think about it. Muscles grow by tearing first. Bones heal denser after they break. And your mind, it works the same way. So here's the shift. Stop avoiding all stress. Start choosing the right kind. Take a cold shower. Say what you've been avoiding. Let someone down gently if it means staying true to yourself. Small discomfort. Chosen discomfort. That's training. That's the gym for your emotional life. The next time something hard hits, you won't just survive it. You'll know what to do with it. You'll know it's part of the process. Because life doesn't get easier. You get sharper. This isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear, resilient, rooted. You stop fearing the waves because you've learned how to swim through storms. That's anti-fragility. And you already have it in you. Time to practice. Chapter 8, The Stockdale Paradox. Some days it feels like this will never end. The pressure, the doubt, the waiting. You're stuck in the middle of something hard. And there's no timeline for when it gets better. So what do you hold on to? Admiral Jim Stockdale, a prisoner of war for over 7 years, survived hell. Not by pretending everything was fine, but by holding two truths side by side. 1, this is brutal. 2, I will make it through. That's the paradox. Faith without illusion, hope without fantasy. Most people get crushed because they lie to themselves. This will be over by Christmas. And then Christmas comes and goes and the hope dies. But Stockdale didn't set a date. He made a decision. I don't know when, but I will survive. No matter how long it takes. This is the mindset that gets you through long, dark seasons. Illness, grief, breakdowns, rock bottom. It's not about pretending to be strong. It's about choosing not to give up even when it still hurts. You stare down the truth. You say, yes, this is hard. And you still keep walking. That's not weakness. That's discipline. That's the kind of courage that doesn't scream. It endures. And maybe the best part, you only have to make that decision one day at a time. Today, you stay in it. Tomorrow, you'll decide again. And somehow, that's how you win. Chapter 9, Personal Resilience System. You can't control when life hits you, but you can decide how ready you'll be when it does. Think about it like this. No one waits until their car crashes to learn how the brakes work. But emotionally, most of us only start building resilience in the middle of a breakdown. That's backwards. You need a system, not a vibe, a go-to structure that kicks in when everything else falls apart. Start simple. What calms your body? Maybe it's breathwork, the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do it daily, not just on panic days. Then there's your mind. Use reframing, self-talk, even third-person narration. It's not silly, it's science. Saying I'm freaking out keeps you in it. Saying Alex is going through a rough day but they've been through worse creates space. Space helps you choose better. Now your habits. The small things you do when no one's watching. Stretching, journaling, leaving your phone in another room. These aren't aesthetic, they're armor. Last your people. Name 3. Maybe 5. The ones who check in, who get it. Not just the ones who send memes, keep them close. You'll need them. The system won't make life easy, but it makes it navigable. Because willpower fades, but systems stay standing. And in your lowest moment, what you practiced when you were okay might be the only thing that carries you through. You won't master life in a day, and you're not supposed to. We live in a world that celebrates quick fixes, overnight success, instant clarity, but growth, real growth. It's slow, quiet, often invisible. No one claps when you say no to something that drains you. No one sees you journaling at 11 p.m. instead of doom scrolling. No one applauds the courage it takes just to keep going. But that's where your power is. In the unposted moments, the micro decisions, the way you choose presence over panic, curiosity over shame, breath over reaction. You're not behind, you're in motion. So here's the only checklist that really matters. Explore more than you settle. Invest in people who see you, not who use you. Learn even when it's inconvenient. Protect your peace like it's gold. Choose courage again and again. And above all, play the long game. Because the life you're building isn't just about this week or this year. It's about who you're becoming. In the mess, in the middle, in the waiting. So take the next step. Not because you have to prove anything, but because you deserve to grow at your own pace. And if no one's told you lately, you're doing better than you think. Let's keep going together.